back to the Bookworms, buddy. July is gone, so it is time for my July wrap-up. If you remember, if you've been watching my videos, I had family come visit, and I was like out of commission for like 2 weeks, or almost 2 weeks before I got the next video up. I did not do too badly on reading. I did get in 8 books, so that was pretty good. I was happy with that. So let's just get started on this wrap-up. The very first book that I read was James Patterson's Witch and Wizard, The Kiss. This is the last book in the series, and I really enjoyed this one. In this one, they had to go defeat the Snow King, or the Leopard King. And one of the things I liked best about this series is at the rate they grew. They grew very well throughout the series. But also, if you remember, I actually ended up skipping the gift. And I don't know how I managed to skip that one. I think it was the gift that I missed. Yeah, because I went right to the fire and then to the kiss. Because I decided to go ahead instead of going back. So I can go back and read the gift. That's a prequel, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, this one was probably my favorite out of all of them so far. I will go back and read the gift eventually. I gave this one a 4-star. I really enjoyed it. It's a great young adult series, but it's not my favorite. I actually like the Maximum Ride better than this series. And I have, I think, 3 left to read in the Maximum Ride series, so it was pretty good, though. I rated this one a 4-star. The next one that I read was Wool, the first one in the Wool series, and I was really intrigued by this one. I gave it a 3-star. I was intrigued by it because mostly the way that it ended, and I was kind of like, what? Something's not right here. It was enough for me to want to pick up the next one. Not the best post-apocalyptic series that I read, but what you have is a whole city of people, or a whole community of people that are living in the silo. But the silo is not just a silo, it also goes underground. So they got this whole city set up in this silo because they're all convinced that the outside world is not livable. You can't breathe it, you can't, you can't eat the stuff there, you just cannot survive on the outside of the silo. And they have a little window in the silo where they can actually see, what's on the outside, and it's just this barren, desolate wasteland. So when people are being punished, they're sent out there to clean these lenses and these windows and stuff. And of course, they don't get to come back. They die because it's this barren wasteland. So the whole premise of the story really was intriguing. I expected a little bit more out of it. I did give it 3 stars, like I said, just because it was intriguing in the premise and the way it ended. I was like, oh, well, now I got to read the next one. So, yeah. And that's by Hugh Howey, by the way. The next book that I read was a buddy read with Amanda over at Amanda in PA, and it was The Memory Keeper's Daughter. I also rated this one a 3-star. I really did kind of enjoy the book. The premise of the book was a little offsetting because this doctor has to deliver his own children. They end up having twins. The boy is born first and he's born perfect, and then the little girl is born with Down syndrome. And this was set back in the 60s, I believe, or 70s, 60s, somewhere in there. He thought that this would bother his wife too much, so he sent the child off to the institution. He did tell his wife that she did birth a little girl that died. So you're feeling sorry for the mother most of the time, and you're like pretty peeved at the dad because of what he did. But then the roles kind of reverse. In my opinion, they kind of reversed, where I just really, she was getting on my nerves, and then you could see the pain that the father was going through because of his actions, and he did it to spare his wife. But anyway, it is worth the read. So this was by Kim Edwards, by the way. So if you get a chance to pick this book up and read it, it is a really good book to read. It is enjoyable. The next one I read was Wool 2, and I also rated Wool 2 a 3. I'm thinking that I shouldn't have rated it a 3. I think I should downgrade that a little bit, because in Wool 2, it kind of lost that. You get some backstory and that kind of stuff, and it's just a climb through the silo, pretty much. They're going to meet up with this woman that they're going to higher into their little government, I guess you could say. There were some exciting parts to it, but overall, you know, like I said before, it just isn't wowing me. And I've started on Wool 3, but it's just, I'm kind of stuck on it. I don't even know if I'm going to finish it. It's just not as good as what I expected it to be. And like I said, I should probably bring the rating of the second one down, but because there were interesting parts, I kept it at a 3. So I can be generous sometimes on the star rating. Anyway, moving on, the next one that I read was Elixir. This is by Ted Galdi. And this was sent to me by the author for review. In the beginning, it was a little slow, and I'm just trying to absorb what was going on, because it seemed like there was, I don't know, it was just a little bit slow in the beginning. Then it started to pick up a little bit. You got this boy who is boy genius, and he writes out this mathematic equation that can help a lot of things. And there's these people that are after him that want him to give them this equation because they kind of stalled. And it can heal a lot of things. It can do a lot. And they want to get a hold of him so that they can get this equation from him, and the story goes from there. So it really did pick up. I ended up giving it a 3-star. If he was to write a continuation or anything to the series, I would read it. So yeah, for the most part, it was a pretty decent read. So 3 stars for that. The next one for me was Dark Paradise. This was a NetGalley read, and I absolutely loved it. There's so much involved in the series. Like, there's mystery and there's suspense and killing and witches and paranormal. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in this series. And I rated it a 5-star. This girl has a history of ancestors who were witches, and she's kind of condemned a little bit because of that. So when little things happen in their hometown, their family's the one to blame. Oh, they did it because they're witches. She continually denies the fact that she's a witch. And what happens is a girl that is found dead in the bayou behind their house on their property, and she drags her from the water, and it's a well-known girl from the town, and the family gets blamed. The mother gets blamed, saying that she's the one that murdered her, and the story goes from there. And I just really loved the way that it flowed, and I really liked the style of writing, and really enjoyed it. Gave it 5 stars. This one is already released, so go out and pick it up. Next one after that I read was Left to Die by Lisa Jackson, which I did do a vlog on this one. And I believe I also did a vlog on The Memory Keeper's Daughter as well. I'll be sure to link to those in the description. This book blew me away. The very first thing that really got to me was the prologue. And I shared that in my review of this, so go check that out. I'm not going to get into what this is about because you can go watch the review. But very, very good. I rated this as 5 stars. I'm looking forward to going on to the next book, which is Chosen to Die. This is just fantastic. I absolutely love Lisa Jackson. If you like mystery, try some Lisa Jackson. She's a romantic suspense writer and is fabulous. Her writing is fabulous. And then the next one I read was Dark Sacrifice, which is the sequel to Dark Paradise. And Dark Sacrifice, don't know how it could have gotten any better. Rated that one a 5-star as well. Loved it. The story continues, and it gets a little more in-depth, and you learn a little bit more about our characters. And she just starts to, Malay starts to learn a little bit more about herself and what she's capable of doing. So it's a decent story, and I'm just absolutely, I'm not going to get into too much about Dark Sacrifice because it is the second book. I actually went over to NetGalley to look it up and see if they had that one for review, and they did, so I snagged it, and that one comes out August 5th. So if you get a chance to read these by Angie Sandro, then please do, because you will not be sorry, because there's so much involved in these books, so many different genres that you could just, you know, put into it. It's phenomenal. It's a great series. And then the last one that I read for July was Onyx by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Absolutely loving the Lux series as well. Obsidian I read last month, and I rated a 4-star. Onyx grows so much more. I give it a 5-star. There's so much more going on. It gets a little more serious. There's some boo-boo parts in it. And I was actually crying. So yeah, it's an incredible series. And Opal comes up next. So I have them all on my Kindle. That makes me happy. So yeah, that was my July TBR. If you've read any of these books, then let me know in the comments below. And also I have a written review of all these books, so I will just share my blog link also in the description, so you can go read those out, or check those out, and read those. And then I'll share my vlog links for The Memory Keeper's Daughter and for Left to Die. I don't remember which ones I did reviews on. I think those were the only 2 I did a vlog on. Anyway, thanks guys for staying tuned, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.